Hi, I'm Erica Nelson, and I want to welcome you to this new healing community that I'm just in the process of creating. It's going to be dealing with narcissistic abuse and toxic relationship issues, but really, in truth, what it's about is helping people, especially women, find their voice, find their passion, find their joy, find their truth, and getting to the wounds inside that caused them to enter a narcissistic abuse relationship in the first place. So bear with me, it's all new. As a child, I was taught we don't talk about these things. So to get on video with you is quite the experience. This is probably my 20th take, and we're just going to do this uncut. So here we go. So up until about a week ago, I was a trauma therapist with a private practice, but there was just something nudging so strongly inside that I needed to shift directions. So here I am. I'm in the process. I've got 4 different projects, but I'm working actively on 2 of them. The first one is a sort of combination beach read romance novel, but it also incorporates the truth of narcissistic abuse into it. Those gut-wrenching moments that we have that people just couldn't imagine if they weren't in it, that's included in there as well, the truth of it. So that's one of them. I'm hoping for next summer to have that out to you. We'll see how that unfolds. And then the second one I'm working on, I'm not saying a whole lot about yet, but it'll be full of tools, something that you could use every day. So in addition to those 2 books right now, I am interviewing women that have been through narcissistic abuse. And that is such a privilege and an honor to be able to hear their stories. Their stories will help me bring the best of all the tools I can come up with. So I'm grateful for that process. And if any of you are watching, thank you so much. Appreciate your courage and your bravery to speak up and share your experience to help others. So what else? My history, I've had a history of narcissistic abuse. It ended with my last intimate relationship, and that one pretty much tore me down to almost nothing, but it also forced me to go deep into my core wounds, and I'm grateful for that part of it. And that made me realize, take a look back through my life, that I had been affected by narcissistic abuse all the way back to my father. So I have a lot of experiences to share, a lot of perspectives. I've done a lot of healing work, all kinds of different healing work, from traditional counseling to brain spotting to energy work to all the things. So I look forward to sharing all of that with you. If what I've been through can help even one person, it was all worth it. So you'll hear me talk from different perspectives. Like, there's the perspective that we're victims and we've been through abuse. That's real. You'll hear people in the spiritual realms talk about, oh, just let that go. That's just, you weren't wounded, you chose it, and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? While all of that might be true at a different level, when you're completely wounded and can hardly function being in a relationship with a narcissist, or you've just pulled yourself out or been discarded, that's not even relevant, because you're doing what you can to get through one day at a time, or 1 second at a time sometimes. So I honor that victim position. I think that that's part of the healing process. You will never hear me say get over it. Okay, so that's one level of healing. We get to be victims as long as we need to be victims, and honor that in yourselves. There's probably not somewhere you want to stay, but that will be supported here. And then there are the other realities. As you heal more, as you get back to wholeness, there is the perspective that the narcissist came into our lives to unearth our deepest wounds so we could heal. But you don't want to hear that when you're laying out half dead from the experience. So there are those 2 levels, and I'll look at things from those levels and honor wherever you're at. What else? I just want you to know that it is possible to pull yourself out of your past, to pull yourself out of the narcissistic abuse, the patterns that keep you going over and over into these unhealthy relationships. It happens for a reason. And I have a few thoughts coming all at once. It happens for a reason, and I want you to know that it's possible to create a beautiful life. It really is possible. I'm in the process of it right now. I'm in the life that I never imagined possible. And my goal is to help you realize that, help you find the tools, help provide you with tools, and also to help those around us understand where we're at as victims. Because when we get out in narcissistic relationships, we're pretty toxic. We can't help it. Maybe toxic's not even the right word. We're really wounded. We're gaping. We're oozing. We've got wounds everywhere. And for good reason. Like, people can't imagine some of the things that happen in narcissistic relationships to get us there. So to help the people that support the victims to bear with them and understand why they won't stop talking about the narcissist, or why they're always thinking about it, or all the things that we do when we're just trying to survive it. So there's where we are. So please join me again. I'll be doing probably one video a week is what I'm going to shoot for. I'll be having some blogs come out. Most of my work will be focused behind the scenes right now on the books that I'm writing. But I do want this to be a safe community for people to be accepted where they're at in the abuse. And I hope you'll join me on this adventure. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and like my video, forward it to people you think it might be helpful to, and we'll just see where this adventure takes us. Thank you for joining me.